Charlotte is in the house. Maria came in early. Angela came in. How are you doing, Charlotte?
Doing good. Doing good.
Cool. Fun day, Monday, fun day. Mm.
Fun day, fun day. Although today's been kind of a Monday
Blah day.
blah day. It really
I had
has
a
been. It's
fun
been,
day.
oh, let's
Yeah.
talk about the fun day instead of the blah day.
Yeah, let's not talk about the blah day. I wasn't
Yes.
sure Charlotte was going to be here. She on time. She told me she might be a few minutes late, but it turned out you were here on time. It was great.
Yep.
Yep. And so like I had a client this morning, but they didn't show up. That's okay. We can reschedule. I don't care. They already paid me for the reading. So
Right.
yeah. So hopefully we'll be able to reschedule for tomorrow. And oh my God, I got up really early, got everything set up, got the computer set up, the desk, the microphone, even though I don't really need this for a reading, but the sound sounds better to them. And if they want me to record it. And got everything set up and I emailed them the link and everything. And I haven't heard a peep out of them. And they were like, so like yesterday and day before, they were so excited about doing the reading, and couldn't wait to get on with me. And I had done their numerology and sent some of their numbers and some information about it out to them. And I thought for sure they'd be on with me this morning, but nope. But that's okay because I was already set up and everything. So I was already set up for the show tonight, which I love that. Already
Yeah.
set up. And I got to thinking about stuff and I was like, well, we're a world year of 9. That's the year of the hermit. And I got real industrious and decided to write an article about the the year of the hermit and 9 and all the stuff in a 9 year and things like that. Plus I'm promoting our show on Thursday because that's what we're going to be talking about, the
Yeah.
world year of 9 and the new year, year of I almost say gratitude. It is a year of gratitude. Nine actually is a year of gratitude. That's what you're supposed to contemplate, think back on everything, and keep a gratitude journal. That's part of my article. Um, so I got a lot done, and I made new banners because I have our basic banners, but because we had topics, Charlotte's gratitude challenge and the year of the hermit on next Thursday, or this coming Thursday, it's like, oh, I can put that on the banner. So, I was redoing the banners, putting it up on the banners and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, so I got a lot done. Oh, hey, while I'm thinking about it, let me go over to psychic.cafe, which you guys should come over and join. It's free, right? I'll grab the URL to this article for everybody. And
Yeah.
don't forget, if you're new here, subscribe and like the video. Yay.
Yeah.
Okay, here it is. And I love the banner. I don't think I got to put the banner up anywhere, but I could have sworn I did that earlier, but I guess I didn't. This is Year of the Hermit. And then if I can just find out, where on my computer I put those. Here it is. Okay, I'm gonna pop it up and put it on live right here. I'm doing this live on the fly, folks. I made this cool little banner, with the Hermit card from Chiro Marchetti's Grand Lux deck because I love it so much. You see how the lantern is, it makes it look 3D because it goes out beyond the border of the card, and always like that version.
Right.
What do you think, Charlotte? Nifty
I
version.
know.
I can't make.
That's,
Oh, hold on a second.
yeah, I like it. I
Hold on a
like it.
second. You're breaking up for
And
some
I
reason. I
know
can't hear
that
you.
is like your favorite. Huh. I don't know why.
Oh wait, now
Everything,
it's cleared up
everything,
now. Yeah,
yeah.
it you were going like this. You cut up. I couldn't understand a word you said. But yeah, you were saying you like it too, and I could tell what you were trying to say.
Yeah, I just know how often you talk about this card. It's your favorite card. You love this
Yeah,
card. And so,
love that card.
perfect topic to, you know, to chat about for a minute.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah. It's of course I'm a Gemini, so there's no such thing as my favorite anything because what's your favorite color? Well, technically when I was younger, it was orange, it still is, but I like purple a lot and black for some things and blues for other things. And so they asked me about my favorite tarot card. Well, the Hermit card, but technically, I always like the Magician and Temperance. So there's always a top five with me, not a favorite anything, flavor of ice cream, you name it. I don't have a favorite. I love everything.
Well,
And that
let's
gets
just put it this way. This is the card that
mhm.
I remember you talking about the most.
And it's hard for me to choose things a lot because of that. Okay, I just put the link in the chat, folks. Psychic.cafe/hermit 2025. Psychic.cafe/hermit 2025 will take you over to this fabulous article. It's not super short, but it's not super long. It's, I think, just, Goldilocks right there. Go check it out and let me know what you think. Oh, by the way, you guys are the first to see this. Yeah, unless somebody that's been on the website because I haven't promoted it yet. So tell me if there's typos. Yeah, let me know if there's any typos because it's a lot of words, you know. And I decided to write the article fully on that and not get into personal year numbers. So at the end, I mentioned joining us on Thursday for the show when we're going to talk about it and personal year numbers, and you'll learn how to calculate your personal year number. But that would have made the article like that much longer. So I was like, I'm not going to do that. Yep. Check it out. And Maria and Angela and everything, if you guys have a chance to go look at it now, just type in the chat what you think of the article. I'd love your feedback and still time to make little twists and, little tweaks here and there to it. What else? What else? Well, today is, Charlotte started her Charlotte's Gratitude Challenge. And we decided that that should be the topic today, gratitude with Charlotte Quarmer. But I want you to explain it to them because, like, I can't remember. I think I know what the challenge was, but I don't want to screw it up. So I want you to do it. Oh, and before we do that, let's just get the card of the day out of the way while we're talking about things. Look, the
Yep.
Llewellyn deck. Yes, I got the universe card, which is the Llewellyn deck's version of the world, and the Seven of Wands. So I always call it the cosmic womb in this card here, the universe. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So that's, basically the world card completion, success, all that kind of stuff. Seven of Wands, you know, defending one's position. He's got the high ground there, even though all these, wands are coming up at him, but he's got his, well, they're actually stabs, but you know what I mean. Right. So, it's like the culmination with these two cards together. It's like the culmination of a long journey or struggle. So if you've been feeling like you've been struggling with something, just remember you've got the high ground and the universe is on your side. We got the universe card there. And that means success and completion. I feel like if you're struggling with something, for those of you that this message resonates with them, I really think that it's coming to the end here. Also, another meaning is like you're defending your ideas against the world because, like, well, it's the universe card, but it's the world card from tarot. So it's like you're defending your ideas against the world. So the idea here is to stand your ground and defend your position. So the message from the universe, from the cards, is you have it right. Okay. um and trust me, if if other cards had come up, I would have told you if you're wrong. But no, the universe says, you are right in this struggle. You need to defend your ground, stand your ground, defend your position, even if it's against the whole world. So that's what I got for the cards of the day here. um you didn't pull any cards, right? Or did you?
No.
That's okay. I thought I'd check. I stopped checking because everybody that I do the shows with basically stopped doing cards because it's like, well, Dax is doing it, just let Dax do it. And but every once in a while somebody will go, oh, like on Pamela, when Pamela was here on Saturday, I think she had cards. Because like I did my cards and I was done and I forgot to ask her. And she was like, wait, I got and I'm like, oh shoot, she did want to do cards of the day. Anyway, oh, by the way, if you'd missed Saturday's show, it was doozy, a doozy.
Yeah,
Uh, let
it's a
me
good show.
let me jump over to the. Of course, you guys can find this on the channel, but I want to go over and grab the link, and also I want to hold on just a second. I want to look at this so I get it right because I know we had one topic manifestation and we changed it. Because there was things that needed to be said. Okay, so I'm grabbing the thing, and what it was is we talked about making money with tarot. So like paid readings, pricing your services, publishing decks, books, courses, and everything involved with that, and a lot more. So it was, if you're new, if or if you've been doing this, old hat, but you want to add new streams of income and you want to hear some of the insider stuff. And I want to do a lot more of this, but we got it going with that. So there's the link to watch next Saturday. Now I gotta wait till we're done tonight. Okay. Don't go over there now. But but yeah, that's the link right there in the chat now. And um for everybody else, just go to Psychic Cafe, and under groups, you can find the group for the Psychic Cafe lives. Another secret way to get there is psychic.cafe/episodes. If you ever want to find, they're all there. They're all there on the website. You don't have to search around on YouTube. You don't have to find the link. Just go to Psychic Cafe, the website. It's all there. Alrighty. Let's see what else is going on. I know one thing I said in that article about a 9 year is, and this year proves it. uh there's a lot of, well, wait a minute, let me go to the actual article here. Not everything's roses in a 9 year. And I don't want to get into this because we're going to cover it, on Thursday, but I did want to mention how um out with the old, in with the new, I said in the article. And great stuff, right? But um there's a lot of endings because it's a year of endings, being a 9 year, so that includes deaths and destruction. So less than 2 weeks into 2025, I said in the article, there's already been a lot. Well, with the wildfires in California, also friends of mine that have passed away, other friends that have had many deaths in the family. And also there can be issues with family in a 9 year. They crop up. Okay. So you should be prepared and start creating space, mentally, emotionally, but also actual space. You might want to make some distance between you and some of the family members. Just a little heads up for some of the stuff we're going to talk about uh, on Thursday. Yep, yep, yep. So I'm just waiting for us to get some questions in there. What did Aloha J say? Can I ask a question and you a coffee? Oh, okay. Yeah. Buy us, yeah, grab us a coffee. I will put in the coffee link for everybody.
But we also have our
Yeah.
uh super chat that or whatever that's called.
And we have
that
super
makes it
chats. So aloha,
that
Jake.
almost
What's
makes
that?
it easier.
Okay, sorry, it was you were breaking up again. I
It
think I got
almost makes it it, it
I
almost makes it
yeah
easier
yeah and every
instead of going to the
right and it is easier. I mean every show now in the notes, like at the top of the chat when I welcome everybody in and everything, I tell them not only I give you the coffee link to buy a cup of coffee, but I also tell you about the super chats, and I have an arrow pointing down and a dollar sign, because if you look on your chat next to where you type in your message, next to that is a button that looks like an outline of a dollar bill in white with a white dollar sign. So just click on that and you can just send us super chats like that. Boom, boom. You know, anybody that sends us a super chat, of course you can do that just to thank us. You love being on the shows. You love hanging out with us in the chat. You learn things about tarot and numerology. You like chatting with everybody in the chat room. But if you get or you got a good reading or something, but if you're about to get a reading and you send us a super chat, we're going to spend more time with you. We're going to go right to your question, because it jumps up in the chat with the big bright super chat, and the amount and everything like that. We're going right to you. And we're going to stop whatever we're doing. We're going to spend more time with you. We're going to let you ask additional questions around the same topic should something come up while we're reading for you. Lots of stuff like that. Yeah. So that's the secret way to jump. Oh, and also you're making sure that we do get to you, because on some of the recent shows, right, Charlotte, like 10, 15 questions, we didn't get to them all.
yeah yeah yeah. And the other thing that's happening is like right at the tail end of the show. I mean, there'll be like 2 minutes left of the show, and it's like we get
Oh, a
five
bunch of
people
people come
pop
in.
up
Mm-hmm.
that, and we're like, well, you're only an hour late, so
Exactly.
come
Yeah.
back for our next show and you know
Yep. Yep.
join us when we start
And we've been
instead of when
trying
we're
to
finishing.
really finish where we're supposed to at the hour mark. We used to go 2 hours, an hour and a half, but lately we've been stopping right at 7 o'clock Mountain, so 6 p.m. Pacific
Yeah,
time.
yeah, but it's been
And
working.
and
It's
and
been
we
working.
oh, I'm sorry. I was just gonna say, and along with that, we actually have had some shows where we ended at 45 minutes, which is what I really, we go 45 minutes and it's quarter till, because I have things I have to do after the show. There's work, and people are waiting for me to come and help them. So I need to get off early these days. That's why I want to do some day shows during the week. I'm thinking a Friday show. That's another thing that came up, and you guys all missed it because I know you guys were not at the coffee social like you should have been, because it was yesterday. We were all there. Charlotte was there. You weren't there. I know you
It's
weren't.
there.
And this is the thing. We learned cool stuff though, and we don't record them. They're private, intimate. You're allowed to ask anything you want. You don't have to worry about the world finding out about it. Okay. And that's the beauty of the coffee socials. But it's also
That
cool.
that sounds really bad.
It isn't. It's like going to see your therapist, but there's few more
It's not
people.
like people are asking like crazy
No, no, but
crazy ask
I want,
questions or anything, but it's
well, I
not
want
like
people.
these shows. It's
Yeah,
more just
it's
like a
not
friendly
readings.
chat.
It's not, no, we're not doing readings,
We don't do any readings,
no,
no
but
readings at
it's
all.
talking about your business. It's talking about getting on Psychic Cafe. It's talking about putting your business on Psychic Cafe. It's talking about launching your business, joining the Tarot Guild, getting certified, and then general questions about tarot and about, reading for other people, and your favorite books and decks and all kinds of stuff. But see, really cool information comes up that you're going to miss because it's not recorded. Like what I was getting to, this is like 20 minutes to get to this one thing that Michelle, first of all, she obviously is taking January off. She's coming back in February. February 8th, she'll be back, Saturday, February 8th. But now she's going to do every Saturday, well, except the first Saturday of the month. We all take that off, and I have meetings to go to in the morning, so I can't do the show. But the second, third, fourth Saturday is going to be Michelle's Mystic Corner now. And she's doing really cool stuff with a topic on this one show and this other thing on this other show and this crown something on something. I don't even understand it. Let her explain it to you. The point
Yeah.
is, we learned cool stuff, and
Mhm.
she's going to be back, and she's going to be here every Saturday. And so, long story around, what I was getting at is that's why I'm thinking, because I'm not going to be doing shows obviously on Saturdays anymore. Well, maybe when there's a fifth Saturday, I'll do a show because there won't be anybody to do a show. So like the first Saturday, we take that off. That's our day off. That's when I go to my meetings. Second, third, fourth Saturdays is going to be Michelle's Mystic Corner. Yeah, I'm still here. I'm in the chat. I'm running the technology, but I'm not on air. So these shows, Psychic Cafe Live, I was thinking we should do like a Friday afternoon show. So, because I'm giving up Saturday shows, and it's like, well, I'm thinking, what shows can I do? Maybe go back to doing Wednesdays again too, or maybe do that during the day. Tuesdays are rough. Well, the first two Tuesdays of the month are rough because I have meetings. But yeah, anyway, so if anybody has any ideas, anybody wants to pop in the chat, I'd love a day show during the week so we know. Uh, any other ideas on times? Maybe you're in Australia and you want us to do it at 2 a.m. Sure, we'll do it. Yeah. No, I'm just kidding. We are not doing 2 a.m.
No, you know what I was doing at 2 a.m. this morning?
What was that?
I was out pulling one of my baby goats that's not, I mean, yes, they're babies, but they're not like brand new, they're a couple of months
Mm-hmm.
old now, but somehow I have a wire crate that I sometimes, if I'm doing something out in the yard and I can't pay attention to my dogs or something, I hurry and put the dogs in this wire crate. And for some reason, this stupid baby goats are called kids. The stupid
Right.
kid stuck its head through the. They're like 2x4. Um, that's how they're measured up. And I kept hearing this man, man, and I was like, "What? God, did somebody have babies? Is that a baby that the mom hasn't picked up? Hasn't taken care of?" I went out, and it was that stupid kid had gotten its head through into that crate, and then so here's this little teeny, and they're just teeny because they're out of a little teeny dough that, but they're 2 months old, but they're barely bigger than a cat. But
Mm-hmm.
it's trying to drag this giant crate around and yelling its head off. So at actually it was 2:30. I'm out there in my pajamas trying to get this stupid kid's head out of that wire mesh. And I'm like,
Oh my God.
why do I have animals? Why? Why? I mean, it's a good thing they're so cute because otherwise, oh my God. And goats are not like, I mean, you would have thought I was trying to slit its throat with a dull knife the way it was screaming. They just um they're super noisy. It wasn't really hurt, being hurt or anything. I mean, it might have felt weird being kind of pinched as I was pulling it out, but I thought it's a good thing I don't have any neighbors that are real close because I probably would have had the cops called on me that they thought I was murdering a child or something because they just scream. It's just like, it was crazy. I was like, I was not a happy camper. I'd been tired all day after that. But yeah, that was my 2 o'clock in the morning story.
Wow. Wow. Oh, Michelle just popped in. Hi, Michelle. We were just announcing your new show, uh,
Yeah.
additional show. Uh, Somebody in chat, Super Dougie said that he knew a Dax in Phoenix. I lived in Phoenix years ago. But I don't think I was Dax then. Yes, I was a different person when I lived in Phoenix because that was like 25, 30 years ago.
I never have asked you if that's your real name.
No, it's short for my real name, which we shall not use. But yeah, well, I moved to California, and
I have.
when I moved to Southern California, like everybody had my name. And one day I put my initials on my coffee cup. I've told this story a million times on here. And one of the reasons why we're Psychic Cafe is I owned and ran coffee shops and cafes. And I was on a break one time, sitting there with my coffee cup, and they're paper cups, so you write your name on it, so the other employees don't pick up your coffee cup when it's behind the counter. And I was always putting my initials DAC, DAC, DAC. I had an employee of mine named Diana Casanova. She kept picking up my goddamn coffee cup. So one day I went, okay, I'm gonna.
Damn her.
Well, what I was doing is I was putting. Actually, it wasn't DAC. I was putting DC, and her name was Diana Casanova. So I started putting DAC. She still picked it up. So then I changed it to DAX, and I just figured she'll see the X. She won't pick up my coffee cup. It worked. So one day though, I pick up my coffee cup and I'm sitting, I'm standing in the coffee house, and near the door, and I'm, sipping away, taking a break, and a customer walks in and looked at my coffee cup and looked at me, looked at my coffee cup, looked at me, said, "Hi, Dax." And that's not what it is. It's initials. It's not a name. It's DAX. And so I looked at the cup, I looked at them, I made a beeline to the back of the house, took off my name tag, made a new name tag that said Dax and put it on. And I've been Dax for 20 years now.
You gave yourself your own nickname. That's excellent.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, it was sort of she gave me my nickname because she called me Dax. And I
Yeah.
I had never ever looked at that cup and thought of that as a name because I knew I was writing my initials, except I changed the C to an X so that Diana wouldn't pick up my freaking coffee cup. But also because I watch Star Trek, Jadzia Dax. So when I think of Dax, I think of Dax Shepard. I think of the character Jadzia Dax on Star Trek Deep Space Nine. It never enters my mind that that could be, a shortened version of my name. So, I never had a nickname. And my name is so common that I had to put my name plus my initial. So you go to karaoke, you know, and it was always David C, because there was a David D and a David F and a David P.
Oh, see, now you just told us your name.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I don't mind. I mean, there's a lot of people that still call me David or Dave. People that I've known for 40 years, still call me Dave or David, or,
Yeah.
I go
My
visit.
my brother number two is
Yeah. But
Dave.
it is way too common. It is way too. When I moved to San Diego, I had to look for housing. So I went to a hotel. I got out of the hotel and walked around the corner, and right next to the hotel was a coffee shop. Great. I love independent coffee shops. The coffee shop was called David's Coffee. I walked in and I met the owner. His name was David. Duh. He
Yeah, imagine that.
Imagine that. He introduced me to the other three people that were sitting having coffees. This is David, this is David, and this is David. And they're all like, "Oh, welcome to San Diego. What's your name?" David. I mean, it was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. ridiculous. By the way, ended up that coffee shop changed hands, and they changed the name. So I ended up moving, opening a coffee shop down the street. And yes, I called it David's Coffee. Yep, yep.
Huh.
Even though by then I was Dax, because I had already been Dax for years, because I moved out in '04. So it's 21 years that I've been Dax.
Well, I'm Dax. Dax is so much funner too. Like,
Oh yeah. And
because
it's easier to remember.
how many versions of Dax do I call you?
Oh yeah,
I
there's
mean,
you know,
I
Michelle's in
just
there, Daxamillion.
yeah, she calls you Dax a million, but you're Dax, Daxy, Daxter. Yeah, I
Oh
mean,
yeah, it's cool.
if there there's I've forgotten how many different iterations of Dax I've called you over the years, but
Mm-hmm.
uh yeah. But
Absolutely.
then again, I do that with my brother.
Well, there's another thing
Somehow
too.
somehow my brother
And
ended
we
up
got to get going because we're running out of time for everything, including
but
the
yeah,
topic.
but Deacon somehow he went from
I like
but I
Deacon.
think it but I think it was
That's a
because
cool name.
his initials were DQ
He should become a
and
deacon so he could be Deacon Deacon.
but yeah, I don't know. But that's he ended up
Yeah.
yeah, that was kind of his nickname was Deacon, but
The Reverend
Dave
Doctor.
Deacon, yeah. Anyway,
Yeah. But no, real
odd.
quick, we got a super chat from Aloha J. Hey, hey, hey. And of course, he had to be really cute and clever and do the master numbers. So he didn't put in $5 or, he put in 1111. So, so we
Excellent.
have to go. We have to stop what we're doing.
Aloha.
We have to go right to Jay's question. But just to finish up
We're
real quick,
we're ready.
another thing was that as soon as that happened, I went home and I looked up Dax, and I knew about Dax Shepard, Jadzia Dax, but when I looked up what it meant, it said a small town in southern France, French for unique, and I was like, oh my god, that is perfect because it's the opposite of David, which is ubiquitous. So I was like, unique. We love Dax. Anyway,
UniQ.
let's celebrate their first super chat on a live stream. Actually, it's not our first super chat. What's this thing talking about? Because we got our first super chat from Charlotte and Michelle.
Michelle.
What was that, Saturday?
Saturday with Pamela.
But maybe because we all have the blue name with the wrench, it doesn't count us as a outside of the family super chat. Maybe that's what it means. But hey, Jay, we're glad that you're our first official.
Yeah, congratulations.
Yeah.
Aloha. Aloha.
So what Jay wants to know is I have a quarterly evaluation with my boss. What should I do to prepare for the meeting? Oh, I love this. I love this. So instead of asking, I've got this evaluation with the boss, how's it gonna go? The typical question. I like this better. It's like, how do I prepare for the meeting? Go for it, Charlotte. What comes up?
Oh,
I'll pull cards
all
too.
right.
Let's see. Let's see. Oh, interesting. It does say to prepare. Look at that.
Woo! All right. I like the first card.
Go ahead.
I yeah. Okay. So the first card I pulled is Horseman, and that's the Herald of Change. And the when the Horseman shows up, it's like and look at that card. I mean, they're just like charging forward. She's got her I don't know if it's her robe or her clothing that's flying, or she's got ribbons tied on the horse, but the horse is like rearing up ready to go. But it's this card when it happens, it's it is like it says something big is coming up. And so I think, okay, this is the hit that I just got. Sometimes I have to just ramble on a bit, and then I mean I just have to talk about the card for a bit, and then the intuitive hits start coming in. But I feel like what you need to do for and also the other card was the netcaster, and this card has been coming up a lot lately. Preparations come to fruition.
Oh my God.
So this is
I
this
got a
talks
preparation
about
card.
this talks about, like when you're fishing with a net, you have to wait for the school of fish to come and be in just the right spot for you to throw your net. And then you have to throw your net at just the right time so you can, so it'll land over the top of the fish and you can bring your catch in. But so it's like, being ready, being prepared, knowing what you're doing. And then with this, but the intuitive hit that came in is that you need to go into that with like the most positive attitude ever. Because I feel like I do feel like you really deserve a pat on the back for whatever, I don't know what you do, but I feel like you really deserve a pat on the back. And I think that's what I'm feeling is like that's how you need to go into this meeting is with that attitude that I mean, and don't not I'm not saying go in there all cocky and hey, yeah, I'm ready for you to, but in your mind and in your heart, and deep in your gut, that you've worked hard and you deserve the accolades that are going to be coming your way. And so that's what I would just prepare with, instead of like worrying that it's going to be bad, be ready to say thank you for all the good things that they're going to say. That, that's
That
what I got.
sounds
So
that
I
sounds
hope,
great. I can't really, add much positive to that. That was pretty damn good. But and there's questions about, do you do mediumship? I tried to tell them Charlotte does sometimes, but it's she's more of an animal communicator than a people medium, but things do come through. So I don't know if somebody has a question. I think that was really that had just come in. So yeah, we're more card readers, but we could take a chance. Um, so I asked Jay how long he's been working there, and I had a specific reason because he's been there a year and 9 months. Because if it was a new job, I would say, because I got this study card, right? With the Queen of Pentacles. And again, preparation, like you were saying, Charlotte, I was feeling like the preparation, there's a little bit of study here. Like you should get into the corporate culture. You should, really have stuff on your fingertips, show them that you know everything about the business. You know who works in HR and who works for who and what you guys do. And you want to be prepared for it, because unlike a job interview, you've been working there. So, you want to show initiative by showing that you know stuff. But that was if you had worked there, let's say it was your, first few months review, or 6 months, but you've been there quite a while. So, but I'm still going to say do that anyway. I'm still going to say review things. And the main thing I got was the Hanged Man. And that's always about, you know, looking at things 180 degrees upside down from everybody else. So think outside the box, go into it. I would say go into it prepared and in a different way. Does that make sense, Charlotte? I don't know.
yeah, well, yeah, it's them being them. And the other thing that came to me and is know where you want to go because I can almost guarantee you that is gonna be a question
Hmm.
that pops up. So know
Yes,
where
that's
you
part
want
of
to
the
go,
prepared.
where you see yourself
Where do you see
is,
yourself in 5 years? You got to know.
and that's
Everybody needs to know that.
yeah, that's where that's where you, and I think that'll
By the
give
way,
you a chance to toot your own horn also, as to
right, right.
why you want to be there.
and not to
or
mention actually inch yourself where you really want to be. But knowing Jay, I mean, I don't know Jay, but I mean, he's been on in the chat many times. He's gotten various readings throughout the years. uh I've always had this feeling. I feel like you're that way, Jay, anyway. So when I showed the hangman and I said, think outside the box, go in there prepared, like Charlotte just said, have that answer to the where you want to be in 5 years, where you want to be in 10 years. Um, I think you're that way anyway. I think you're the kind of person that's prepared. I think you're the kind of person that thinks outside the box. Like, what I mean about outside the box is even that 5 year question, most people have something. I'm saying go beyond everybody else. Really, it's like, yeah, well, I see myself, running the, I see myself running the sales team and increasing our bottom line by 200,000 by 2027. I mean, something crazy. But also, I mean, by thinking outside the box, that everybody goes in and sits there, kind of like, deer eyes in in the
yeah,
headlights thing.
deer in the headlight.
Yeah. So I want you to think outside the box. I want you to go in there not just prepared, but like approach the whole process different than everybody else. Everybody else goes into their reviews and yeah, and most people suck at it. So try to give it some thought, work on it. And of course, he's hanging upside down to look at the world upside down. So you need a mechanism for that. And I always, my go-to is program your dreams. You know, have your subconscious give you something, some new approach to the review or what have you. There you go.
Yep.
So hope that helped you out. And by the way, Jay says thanks, Charlotte. And thank you.
Oh, you're
Oh,
welcome.
I got one more thing before I forget. He said in the chat that it's his first ever super chat. That's why it came up. I misunderstood and completely misread the message. The message actually says, let's celebrate their first super on a live stream, not our first super on one of our live streams. So sorry I messed that up, Jay, but
Well,
congrats.
that was my first chat, my first super chat too. So it must be
Did it pop up or no?
no,
Oh,
no. I think it must be for like you said, people outside the
yeah.
that aren't moderators.
Well, for anybody that missed it, Charlotte, you want to? I got something caught my eye too. I'm going to grab a napkin here. Um, can you tell everybody, for everybody that's here that missed it, what your gratitude challenge was?
Oh yeah. So I at the 1st of January, I put up a gratitude challenge, and that was 30 days of journaling 3 to 5 things that you're grateful for each day. No repeats. I mean, if you like, you know, if you forget and you list something twice, I mean, I mean, there are no really hard and fast rules, but uh, I kind of like to keep it no repeats because it makes you think about more about everything that you are grateful for. And I like to do mine in the morning, but you can do it anytime you want. And if you haven't started yet, you can still start. I mean, you can still start now and just do it 30 days from today. And for me, I like to write it down with a paper and pen or pencil because I feel like it embeds itself more into, your thought process. And then you're going to be, and what that does for you, one, it makes you so aware of everything that you take for granted. I mean, like running water. having hot water come out of the tap. Um, having shoelaces that aren't broken. I keep using that as a an example, but I mean anything. I mean having soap, having toothpaste, having a toothbrush. I mean, there's so many things that are just we just take for granted. And then there are the big things, having a roof over your head, having a bed to sleep in, those kind of things. But it, if you think about it and you have true gratitude as you're doing it, it just influences your attitude for the day. And by the end of the 30 days, one, you're into a habit of doing it. And two, you're just kind of like supercharged with it, it just changes your whole attitude. And so if anybody wants to, you know, join us,
Oh.
I don't know how many people are doing it with me,
Michelle
but
just said, Michelle wanted to say to you, Charlotte, I will start mine today, and I do have something to be grateful for on the worst of worst days.
wow, that's excellent. And I mean,
You know,
excellent. And
when you first talked about this, and I thought about, God, and we talked about, God, hot and cold running water, refrigerator. We have endless things. But you know what popped in my head that I didn't say that was another thing to be grateful for? I'm grateful that I go to sleep at night in the bed and the cat doesn't jump on the bed and piss in my face. I mean, there is so much you can be grateful for.
I mean, it's endless. And that's why I say no repeats because you don't need to repeat.
Mhm.
And I have done these 30-day challenges where I actually had 10 things that I was grateful for.
Mhm.
But
Every
this
day.
one, I was like, okay, let's do 3 to 5 and, you know, make it a little bit easier. And sometimes so you just start writing and you don't want to stop. You're like, and some days I would end up with like a whole page of things that I was grateful for. And because you just don't want to stop writing because you're like, oh yeah, I'm grateful for this. And I mean, it just opens your eyes to, it makes you, I mean, people don't really use this word that much anymore, but for quite a while, it was such a buzzword, mindfulness, but living in the moment, being aware. That's where gratitude brings you into the moment, and makes you aware of your surroundings, of you know that your life. Yeah, there are things. Everybody has hard things. Like
Yeah.
today, actually coming and getting on the show tonight was a little bit of a struggle for me because it was a Monday blah day. But now I'm here and it's Monday fun day. So for me, I'm
Sunday.
like completely grateful for this show because it kicked me out of that, you know, out of that whatever was going on. But it was there was no sun today. It was just all gray. And it's the kind of
Uh,
day where you're not really sure what time of day it is because it stays the same color until it's dark, so yeah. But that's the challenge. And if anybody has any questions,
mhm.
you can just message me at the cafe, or I mean, you can message any of us at the cafe. But I'm the one that put the challenge up. And if you want to share your things that you're grateful for with me, you can. Uh, but you don't have to.
Plus, here
Um,
in the beginning of the year, it really is good to start with, because you're going to want to manifest things. Start with the gratitude because that fuels or enhances the emotional fuel of the
yeah,
manifestation
yeah.
process. Yeah.
Yeah, that whole attitude of gratitude is the key to,
Mhm.
I think, to life and manifestation. And
Yeah.
And that's kind of where, like with Jay too, I mean, what he's doing is he will be manifesting, you know, what his job review is going to be, kind of
Right.
deal,
Well,
and
the reason I bring this up is because a lot of people love the whole gratitude thing, gratitude challenges, keeping a gratitude journal, which by the way is in my article. Did you guys read my article? Um, I put the link in the chat earlier, psychic.cafe/hermit 2025. Oh, I should put that in again while I'm thinking. But the reason why I brought this up, let me see, Hermit 2025. Go read my article and let me know if you guys like that, because a lot of new people have come in. Michelle, I gave the link to you. Did you read my article? Oh, Rose just came in, and then Jay and everybody. Um, yeah. And so in the article, I talk about that, but a lot of people love this stuff, but then a lot of other people, it's like, okay, it's nice, but what does it do for me except make me feel good that I can figure out what I'm have gratitude about? Well, there's an actual real world reason, because you can use it to manifest something you want outside of what you're already grateful for. Because what happens to us is we focus on the lack. And what we really should be focusing on is what we want to attract in. But it's hard. It's hard because
it is hard.
we are inundated all day long, right, Charlotte, with all the negative crap. Even if nothing bad's happening to us this second, we're listening to the radio, we're listening to television, we're watching YouTube, crap is happening, and it just gets really, really hard. We get so inundated with the negative.
Well, life is hard. Life is
Well,
hard.
yeah. But what I'm getting at
And
is this is the secret trick. This is
yeah,
what gratitude is, the trick to start shifting your focus to what you want to manifest and away from the lack, by already being grateful for what you're grateful for what you already have. And that
right.
sets you up.
Yep,
Yep.
it
Yep.
does. And I encourage everybody to try it.
Mm-hmm.
And but also to be kind to yourself. Be kind to yourself. If you don't make it every day, do not, this is not a free kick yourself in the butt card. It's not. It's a tomorrow's another day. I'll do it then. So that's the other thing is, you must be kind to yourself while you do this as well, because that will
Right.
help. That helps because really, I mean, okay, yes, it is a challenge to try to get this done every for a full 30 days, but life happens and
Do it, folks. Do it. It'll set you up for the
yeah,
rest.
it will.
Yep.
And
So,
yeah, and this is
um,
like Jack said, this is the best month to do it. And I like to do it.
it
I like to
is.
do it at the beginning of the summer too. I like to do another
Well,
challenge. I like
even
to,
even in December too, but you could do it either way. You could do it ending the year, beginning the year. Beginning's better, but or you could do a crossover, the last 2 weeks of December, first 2 weeks of, I don't know, different ways to do it. I saw Anne came in a while back and asked to get on the list. There is no list, and I know we failed to mention it in the beginning of the show, like we do on all the shows, that you just type in your question. Or if you don't have a very specific question to type in, say, can I have a message from the universe? So, Anne, I don't know if you're still here. I just went through the whole list. I don't see you. Are you still here? If you are, put your question in. Also wanted to mention some other stuff that came up here. Okay, I'm trying to find the next question after this. Oh, Angela had said, Dax, just read through your article. Well done. Thank you, Angela. Thank you, Angela. Um, I'm trying to find the next question, and I'm not. I know Briley or Breely was asking about the mediumship, and then said animal as in animals that have passed. Well, yeah, actually, animal communications both. Animal communicators do both. live animals, and in fact, most of the shows that I see, they're telling messages from their live animals that are sitting right there on their lap. But I know that some animal communicators, do mediumship as well, right, Charlotte?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm trying to get to a
Yeah.
question here from.
They're animals on the other side. They're always like, I feel like they're always just like right there waiting. They're
Mhm.
waiting. They're waiting. They're waiting to say, I love you. I love you. I love you still. I loved you, when we were alive, but I still love you.
Yep. And,
You
and
know,
Maria, calm down in the chat. Calm down. Maria's freaking out in there. I'm here. I'm here. I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to Anne. Your questions before hers. We're about to get to it. And she's freaking out. Are you guys taking questions? Are you going to get to my question? Wait, here's my question again. It's like, no, guys, we take the questions in the order that they come in. We are doing that now. We went to Jay's question first because guess what? He bought us a super chat.
yep,
So if you want your question answered, instantaneously in the beginning of the show, buy a super chat or send us a cup of coffee at psychic.cafe /, here it is, psychic.cafe /coffee. Send us a cup of coffee and we'll go to your question. Otherwise, have some patience. We don't get to all the questions, and we are not here just to do readings for you. No, we're here to have a discussion and talk about topics and talk amongst ourselves and answer questions about tarot and numerology and everything too. We're doing that as an extra side little service. We'll do a couple of 2 3 readings or 4 readings or 5 readings on a show. And if we don't get to them all, we don't get to them all because we do shows all week long. So
yeah. That's what I was just gonna say. We do enough shows
yeah,
that,
have some
um,
patience, people.
yeah, that if
Mm.
some weeks are definitely more discussion oriented. Like the show on Saturday was almost half the show was discussion,
Well,
as was
and
today,
and
as
I
today was
wanted
the
it
same
to,
way.
and I wish I had had a discussion with Pamela before the show that I was going to do that, because even she said about getting to the readings, and I didn't want to say anything on air to diss Pamela, but it was that was intentional. That was intentional. I want the shows to be more information and chats and discussions and less readings. That's what I want them to be. We're doing this as a service. It's free, and we're not here to sit here for 2 hours and answer 25 questions. I'm sorry, that was the old days. We're not doing that anymore. Yes, we'll answer a few questions, but hey, we're doing this for free. The very least you can do is hit that super chat button and buy us a cup of coffee, or go over to psychic.cafe /coffee and buy us.
Yeah, and we're not saying do it
No,
every show at
no.
all. We're not saying that at all, but once in a while, just, you know,
Yeah.
keep the lights on to actually let us buy a literal cup of coffee once in a while, you know.
And think about,
Um,
what readings cost and how, you're getting this cheap, and you can't do a $2 super chat, a $5 super chat, a $10 super chat. Really? I mean,
yeah, like that,
come on.
like the reading that Jay got. I mean, if that wasn't part of the show and if he hadn't um done the super chat, um that reading right there would have been a minimum $60,
Mhm.
unless somebody had a sale going on.
Yeah,
But
I got a
really, I mean,
sale
there would
for.
have been a little bit more going on
Yeah,
in his reading, but for the most part, he got a lot of information for. and
right.
and and I am not. I'm happy. I'm happy to do those kind of readings too. I'm not. I
Oh yeah.
am. Don't get me wrong. I'm not like, oh well, I look at everything I just did. No, but that's not my point. My point is, we're here and just
And,
to,
and you know, the thing was, is I was just about to go to Maria when she was typing that all in there. And it disturbed me a little bit. Because like I'm literally about to, you are the first question after the super chat question, because you were the first one in.
yeah,
I'm going to your question, and then you're doing that in the chat. That really bothered me. The other thing was the reason why I was not going right to it was because I was scrolling through the chat trying to get the next question to hand it off to you, Charlotte, and then go answer Maria's question, because I already have the cards right here for Maria's question. I already have it answered. It's just that I was trying to find the next question to hand off to you
right.
to start, but I
Yeah,
can't. And that's why I asked about Anne, because she said, could I get on the list? But she never put a question in that I can find. And then the only other thing was from Breely about mediumship, and asked the questions about animal communication and what is it. And then they said, are you able to do a small mediumship for me? And it's like, well, again, we work on questions, so what is it you want to know from whom that has passed Breely? You got to give, we aren't mediums. We're not going to sit here and go, okay, Aunt Charlotte is coming in. Yes. And she wants you to know that the $50,000 necklace is behind her dresser. It fell behind the dresser. No, we're not just gonna, pull stuff out of our. Usually, there's a question involved. You want to ask them something. You want to tell us who you're trying to contact, things like that. And whenever I've done mediumship on the shows and information has come through, it was completely accidental. Completely
yeah.
accidental.
And
So
yeah.
I'm not seeing. So if anybody has a question, go ahead and put it in the chat now, because we're just gonna end because there's only the one question um from
Maria.
Maria. And again, and her question is one we're not supposed to answer. So she asks a medical question. And
Oh,
so Maria, um, I have cards. I'm going to tell you something, but I am not answering the question the way you wrote it. I cannot give you specifics. I cannot diagnose an illness. So what she asks is, may I ask a question? Will the bump on my forehead disappear? Yes, you get a mallet and you go boom, and it's going to go down. But she said, no, she said, will it disappear, or will I need to remove it surgically or with a laser? I've had it for 4 months and been to 2 different doctors. Well, what does your doctor tell you?
yeah, yeah.
Why
What?
are you asking a psychic or a tarot reader or a card reader about something?
Yeah,
Why don't you
yeah,
ask your doctor, do I need laser surgery? Do I need surgical surgery? Same thing. Anyway, no, but cutting with a scalpel versus laser. Will it naturally resolve itself? What is it? Is it a subdermal hematoma? Is it a benign cyst? Is it, I mean, is it a pocket of goo? It could be a lot of different things. So, oh my God, people, please, it's like, does he still love me? Did you call him? I mean, it's that kind of thing. You know, it this particular question is not psychic peeping toming, thank God, because it is about you. But we're not supposed to answer these kind of questions anyway, you know. However, these are the cards I got. So I got the Two of Cups, and you see the caduceus right there. Okay, this is thought to represent the archangel Raphael, who is the healer. In fact, Raphael means God heals, or healer of God, depending on you're reading it backward, L first or not. Anyway, they read left to right. we read left to right. They read right to left. Yeah. Anyway, so the message coming through is what you should do if you wanted to resolve naturally. Call upon Archangel Raphael to help you with that. And you can just, do it verbally out loud in your head. Or, as I always say, what do I always say for absolutely everything? Program your dreams. Why? Why would I say program your dreams for something like this? You want to tell your subconscious that this is what you want to be resolved. And you will be amazed because those of us who are hypnotherapists, we've had hypnotists come in. We've had clients come in and done hypnotherapy and had the craziest things happen. Things being resolved, things disappearing, things being taken care of, all through the power of the mind. It is possible, folks. It is. You can get that bump to go down and go away. You can. The mind is super, super powerful. And, short of actually going to a hypnotherapist, which you could do, program your dreams. Tell your subconscious what you want it to do. Call upon Archangel Raphael. And then the other cards I got was the Six of Pentacles and the Seven of Pentacles. And with this combination, he's observing his harvest. I feel that the harvest is good. I feel so. I feel the message coming through is that you can resolve this naturally, but that's not a diagnosis. That's not a medical diagnosis. Don't take it that way. You still got to go to your doctor. You still have to ask the questions. If those two doctors didn't help you out, go to an urgent care clinic. They have actual MDs and also nurse practitioners there. Go ask them, go get a third opinion.
Yeah. I mean, I actually would suggest a dermatologist, but
And oh yeah, that I'm glad you said that because that is like the obvious thing. It's like when I was having skin problems, I went to a dermatologist. I didn't ask my GP. I didn't ask my
yeah,
primary physician because they don't freaking know.
nope. Yeah, watch a few episodes of Dr. Pimple Popper, and then you'll know.
Ah. But no,
Go to your dermatologist.
it's so true. These people are not. You got to understand how little they take the rotation through dermatology and through all the different types of medicine, surgery, obstetrics, blah blah blah. It's very short. I think they get an hour on nutrition. Do not ask your primary care physician for nutritional advice. They don't know shit. Go and I would normally say go to the specialist, which would be a nutritionist, but nutritionists, they go by the freaking food pyramid. At the bottom, the biggest amount of stuff you should be eating is pastas and breads. No, that's what causes diabetes type 2. Turn the pyramid this way, and then you have the proper human diet. Anyway,
Any more questions pop up?
that's the thing. There was no other questions except for the mediumship thing, but I don't think that she ever. Oh, and Tarot Destroyer came in and put in a 60 billion things, but I think Michelle or Dan or someone in there took care of that. Rose had come in, but I don't see any question from Rose. Anne never put her question in. I think we sufficiently scared Breely away with the mediumship thing because they never gave us a question. Anyway, but I don't care. Answered 2 questions, and we talked about gratitude. We talked about your gratitude challenge, and we talked about a lot of other cool stuff.
Yeah, and your article. Talked about your
Oh,
article.
in my article, yeah, I forgot about my article. We talked about some really cool stuff that's more fun than answering Does he still love me?
I know not one of those questions tonight, which I'm just like,
Thank God. Thank God. And by the way, anybody that wants a masterclass in asking questions, just scroll up till you see the super chat. Look what Jay said. I have a quarterly evaluation with my boss. What should I do to prepare for the meeting? He did not ask how it was going to happen, what the outcome was going to be. Was he going to get a pay raise? Was he going to get a job, uh, new job, pay increase, job? What do they call that when you go up in job? I can't, my mind's blanking right now.
promotion.
Like a promotion, something like that. No, he didn't ask any of that. He didn't ask for timing. He didn't, none of that. What should I do to prepare for the meeting? And just from that, nearly any question that you ask, you can put the same twist on it
Yep.
so that you get value out of the reading and not, this fortune telly crap, which most of us don't even really believe in it anyway. Most of the people I know that are card readers, they either don't even do timing because they don't, or they outright hate it. And
Yeah, I don't do timing. I'm not good at timing.
we
Well,
have
I no, that's I'm gonna take that back. If I have my pendulum out, sometimes I'll do timing and I'll be like I have to, but I have to like narrow it down. I start big and then start chunking it down
yeah.
into, is it in 6 months? Is it in, and then I'll take a pretty big chunk off of that if the answer is no and find out, is it somewhere in between? But I don't really like to do timing questions, but I'll do them.
Yep.
But it all so much depends on
Well,
the
we have
person because the answer, is only as conditions sit today.
mhm,
And so if you stay
right.
on the track that you're on today, then this is when you can expect it to happen, is how
But,
my timing questions come up. But
but like,
if you do
yeah,
something that you can speed it up, there are things in your own life that you can do to speed it up, or there are things that you can do to, put a big fat stop sign in front of uh, your forward motion on it. And yeah, so,
yep. And
because
we
things
have
change.
hosts. Well, what I was going to say was we have hosts, that have outright told me in the green room, it's like, I don't answer those kind of questions, and so when I see them come up in chat, I answer those and I give them something else, even if we have to go out of order. Oh, Rose does have a question. Okay. And yeah, you know, we were able to go over tonight because I was going to stop at quarter till, but early on, I heard him going by, so I was like, oh, well, it's like if they're going to go that early, yeah.
I swear to God, they're like little kids. They're just like, oh,
So
geez, it makes me laugh.
Maria said something about I have not asked the same question. Yes, Maria, we never said that you were asking the same question. That's not what we said. We said we have your question, we're going to answer it, we just haven't gotten to it yet. I didn't say anything about you asking the same question like over and over, show after show after show. No, I never said that. You're perfectly fine, Maria. Yeah, ask anything you want. And she says, I've been to a dermatologist. Well, then what did the dermatologist tell you it was? Did they take a what do they call that, Charlotte? When they take a sample?
Well, a biopsy, but
Biopsy.
they probably,
It's probably nothing. It's
they
probably
probably, I mean, when I had a bump on my head, they did an ultrasound. The first thing they did was an
yeah,
ultrasound and to see, what was showing up underneath. And then,
yeah.
uh,
And you got to understand also, it's the individual person. A lot of people think, well, I went to the dermatologist and the dermatologist. No, it's their individual ability and what they want to do. I'll give you an example. I went to the dermatologist. I had on my arm here, I had a mole from when I was born, right? I went in to see a dermatologist. They looked at it real quickly and then moved on to other things. Never gave it a second thought. I went to a different dermatologist for my face and didn't even mention the arm. And he like pulled the arm out, pulled the cauterizer over, got the scalpels. And I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm taking that off. You know, boom, like that. It's like that. I think that should come off. And I'm like, okay, take it off. And so, they came over and they, slice that thing off, cauterize it, and I'm like, wow, that's cool. My skin's burning. Anyway, but yeah, so I have this scar right here. But
Thanks for sharing. Thanks for sharing that.
I knew that would get some of you.
Thanks. Uh, yeah.
You squeamish people in the audience. No, but the thing is,
I'm not.
my point
I'm
is,
not squeamish. It's just
my,
like
but,
you're
but
such a nerd.
you're missing my point. But my point is that the one dermatologist didn't even give it a second thought. Looked at it. Next, the other
Yeah.
dermatologist, that's got to come off. So
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying, Maria. If you're not getting what the answers you want, go to another dermatologist and have the conversation. I went to two different dermatologists. They cannot tell me what this is. I want it biopsied. I guarantee you that
Yeah.
third one will
And
bounce.
honest, quite frankly, this is the wrong platform to even be discussing this.
Yeah, but
I mean,
I like talking about squeamy things on my forehead.
well, I mean, I
Squishy
don't.
things, squishy.
That's fine. That I
Mhm.
mean, that's fine because we're weird. But
Yep.
but you have to agree, this is not the right platform. This is not a medical chat.
No,
This is
ask
not.
your dermatologist. There are
It's a
there are
yeah.
psychics out there though that
This
are
is
medical
the
psychics, but I would
that
never
yeah that
study them.
I agree that are medical
Squishy.
medical
Tell those
intuitive.
squishy
They call themselves medical intuitives?
intuitives, yeah, which is BS. Don't go to them. I'm telling you. Yeah,
But
it's coming from us that have dealt with psychics and thousands of tarot readers over 20 years. Yes. Even the tarot readers won't go to a medical intuitive. 99% of them are full of. And by the way, the
yeah,
mediumship thing that came up earlier, same thing. I've known two really good mediums in my life, and they were on our Tuesday radio show. Everybody else sucked. Oh my God.
we had there were some
Including
yeah.
even the big name people, the John Edwards and the what's her name that died, the Montel Williams, what's her name? I always forget her name.
Sylvia Brown.
Sylvia Brown, they
She
were
was kooky.
wrong more than they were right, you know?
Yeah, and what's his name? Um, oh,
Oh, I know, I
I
can picture his face. I
I
know
get the
exactly who
I
you're
get
saying.
I get the worst
Oh,
feeling about him.
I get the heebie
Uh,
jeebies.
yeah,
He gives
it
off child molester vibes. I'm just saying that. No, I didn't say his name, so I can't get in trouble. But listen, Rose is asking a question. Oh, it's a question, not a reading question, which is great. Yes, thank you. Thank you for something cool, Rose. Rose says, I have a question. I'm thinking about getting a tarot deck that focuses on goddesses. Any suggestions or recommendations? Michelle
yes.
Michelle says the Goddess Tarot by Chris Walder. Uh it's a nice deck on Amazon. Do you have any suggestions for goddess tarots or
Yes.
schools or
Well, first of all, Alana uh Fairchild,
oh
right?
Fairchild, yeah.
Uh she's got several goddess decks, and of course, I've got several. I've got more of her decks than between her and Kyle Gray. I've got anyway, but then there's another one, and I love the deck. I absolutely love the deck.
Mhm.
Um, she does a lot. She's done a lot of research on Mary, um, biblical Mary. Um, but what is her name? And I can't look it up online because I've got my phone. Um, but she's got uh, uh, is it called the Divine Feminine? Somebody look this up for me. It's a red. It comes in the box is red. It's an oracle deck, not a tarot deck. Um, I want to say the F word so bad right now, but I'm sorry.
It's
Um,
okay.
but that's that. I would say that is like my favorite goddess book. It's so. In fact, I used to pull for quite a while. I would pull one of her cards every single day to see which goddess was the goddess that I needed direction from for that day.
I
And
bet Dr. Rose has them.
it was always spot on. It was always spot on. And
Who was it? Nick
yeah,
was it Nikki was her co-host when Dr. Rose did the Goddess show? She started,
I don't remember a Nikki.
I can't,
So that might have been before my time because
yeah. Well,
I feel like
she came on the network only because that her friend wanted her to join her as a co-host on a Goddess show. We did the Goddess and God show. And then she eventually left. And then Dr. Rose started doing the Doctors Are In with me on Fridays. And
right,
that's
right.
how it happened, was because Nikki or whatever her name was left.
But
Wisdom. Michelle says,
Dr. Rose is like more like the like um you know the Buddha and
well, no, but yeah, but on the Goddess show, they did all the goddesses and stuff. Yeah, and so
yeah,
I think
but
I bet you she has a couple of decks that are goddess decks. Michelle says, "Wisdom of the Divine Feminine."
what's the name? What's the author's name of that?
Don't
Well,
know.
I know. I'm asking Michelle.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm asking Michelle to put it in
I
the
don't
chat.
think she knows. She has a question mark. I don't think she knows.
Well, look it up on Amazon. I can disappear for a minute and quickly look it up.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we got to get out of here anyway. We can talk. We will answer that question when we return on Thursday.
Yeah, but that's the one that I honestly that is the one I would either do find an Alana Fairchild deck that looks that resonates with you, or I would go with the one that I said with the red box. Um, because I everybody that I know that had that deck loved it. Um, and it was a great deck to do readings from. But more, the way I used it the most was just for myself, pulling one card each day to see, which goddess energy I needed to lean into for that day.
Mhm.
So, ah,
We got to get
that's
out of
really
here
driving
though.
me crazy.
Maria
Yep.
did ask about, can you guys say something about Cosmic Tarot? Any recommendation on that deck? Well, say what? What do you want to know about it, Maria? I had never even heard of that. I mean, I think I might have heard the word Cosmic Tarot once, but I just looked it up on Amazon, or yeah, Amazon and Google, and I'm looking at the images, and it's an interesting deck. It's a little out there. I'd have to look more closely through more cards than what they're showing here for me to really get an opinion on it. I mean, right off the bat, I can tell you, obviously, it's not, you know, it's not my cup of tea, but that doesn't mean it's not a great deck. Yeah. I do like the artwork. It's just not my kind of thing, but I like the artwork. The artwork is really good. Um, the Six of Cups is a little odd there. It's just got the male and the female. It makes me think of the Lover's card, not the Six of Cups or the Two of Cups, but it's the Six of Cups. And I'm like, huh? I don't know. Ten of Swords.
Okay, I got it. It's The Divine Feminine by Megan Watterson.
Okay.
Yep. Took me 2 seconds. It was the first I typed in Divine
Oh,
Feminine. It's the first deck that pops up.
yeah.
Great artwork. Really great artwork.
There's another
Um,
one called Cosmo Tarot. I like that artwork. It's very surrealistic, though. It's not everybody's taste, everybody's cup of tea. But the Cosmic Tarot, I love the backs on it. It's got a pentagram and it's really nice looking. I mean, I could see using that deck, it just, if you if it calls to you, get it, grab it, you know.
yeah, that's the thing is like different decks, different decks are gonna call to you. Like,
Mm-hmm.
um, I have a dragon deck by Diana Cooper. Um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. And honestly, again, that deck is more, I had a lot more luck doing
Yeah.
personal readings with it than I did like readings for other people with it. And I don't know why. I don't know if it was just the dragon energy was, I mean, it might be different now because I haven't picked that deck up for a couple of
You know,
years now, but every deck's energy is going to resonate with you a little bit differently than it does anybody else. And
for me, it's really hit and miss with dragon tarots. Like, for instance, the very first deck I ever got was a dragon tarot because my friend that gave it to me for my birthday knew I was born in the year of the dragon. And it was by Terry Donaldson. And I interviewed him on the radio some decade or more later when we started doing the radio show. It was like 2010. Yeah, because we're coming up on the 15th anniversary, which, by the way, that's coming up on, what is it, this Saturday? We're doing the celebration, 15 years of broadcasting.
whoop,
Yes.
whoop,
Yep.
yeah,
And it's the Dragon Tarot, Terry with a Terry Donaldson from US Games. I cannot read with the bloody thing. I mean, it's the artwork's okay, but then
yeah,
I've seen other dragon tarots that I like a lot better that I haven't got
yeah,
yet. I need to get them. And of course,
yeah,
um Steel Wizard has a lot of dragons on Pamela has a lot of dragons on her cards, and even in the Eternal Seeker and her other decks, and I really love it. It's just perfect.
yeah,
Especially if it's a wands thing, like a fire sign thing. She's gonna have dragons everywhere. But I would like to get a really good dragon deck that I can actually read with. Because my idea when I first got into tarot, and that's how I got into tarot. I never told my real tarot story ever. And that's really how I got into it because he bought me that deck and said, you should be doing this. And so my idea was I was going to, my website, I made a website and it was called Dragon Seer, SEER, dragonseer.com. And my whole spiel, my whole skit, my whole, what do they call it? Your bag,
your
um,
spiel.
your spiel. My spiel was I'm the dragon deck user reader. I just use the dragon deck and that's it. And it's dragon readings, damn it. You know, that I was a kid. This was like 30 years ago. But the thing is,
I identify as dragon.
I just loved dragons. Dragons was my thing. And,
My pronoun is dragon.
right, exactly. And there's no male or female. I'm unisex. I almost
Yeah,
said I
yeah,
almost said
I was gonna say,
ubiquitous, but that's not. Yeah. Anyway, but Yeah, but I gave up on that really quickly because I went out and I bought my first Wade Smith deck because I was reading all these books and they all had Wade Smith in it, and I just fell in love with the imagery and the individual symbols in the card, and I could read with it very easily. So I was having a lot of trouble with the dragon deck, and then once I switched to the Wade Smith, I was like, oh, boom, this is easy, you know.
Yeah.
But I still would like to get a really, really good dragon deck. Maybe dragonseer.com is still available. Anyway, let's get out of here. I'm having too much fun. I'm having
Okay, Dragon Master.
This is the first time we've been able to go an hour and a half in a while because I've
A long time.
been having to help other people, and anyway, let let's uh let's end the show and thank everybody for being here. And don't forget to come on Thursday because we're going to be what are we doing on Thursday?
You are doing your hermit stuff on Thursday.
Oh, it's the year of the hermit.
Okay.
Yeah, we're doing the numerology, world year, your personal year. Come and find out how to calculate your personal year number. Oh, and I'm going to try, hopefully I don't forget before Thursday I'm going to try to get my a PDF together with all that information, personal year numbers, so I can just send it to you guys and you guys will have a handout. By the way,
Yeah.
Michelle's first show, she's on, February 8th, she said she has handouts. She's convinced that everybody loves handouts, and I guess they do. So we're going to start doing handouts. And my first one's going to be Thursday, and I'm going to give away the PDF handout for the cheat sheet for personal years. So we'll learn how to calculate them, and you'll have the info right there, and we'll go through some of them. And I think I'm in a 4%. Oh, by the way, the interesting thing is when I discovered something today, we'll tell you how to calculate it, right? But basically you're adding the world year number to your attitude. Well, because it's a 9 year, whenever you have a nine, whenever you add anything and reduce that you're adding to a nine, you get that same number back. So guess what, folks? Everybody's personal year is your attitude number. This year only. So bye, everybody, and thanks for being here, Michelle. Thanks for being here, Charlotte. I'm looking at
I know.
Michelle.
I'm
I'm
really
looking.
starting to have
No,
like
I'm.
identity crisis because I used to be Catherine all the
That's
time,
different because it was
and now I'm Michelle.
no,
I
that
wish I
was
just have
different
my
because
own name.
Catherine and Charlotte had the same started with the same letter, and that was a different thing. This was because I had to hide you behind the screen to get to the end stream button. And I looked down into the chat and I saw Michelle. And I said, Michelle. That was a complete
Yeah,
separate.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, come on. Nothing's gonna give you a heart attack, and what do you call it? A complex or something.
What are you kidding? I'm the queen of complexes.
No, you're too ornery to have a complex. Come on. Anyway, we're getting out of here.
I'm the
Bye,
I'm the
everybody.
queen of complexes.
Bye. Yay. That was really fun. We're
Yeah, except for Maria.